Hello, welcome to Anything Relevant. And today I would like to talk about the latest news on Batman. Apparently, there was a fan following that had been petitioning for Robert Pattinson to play Batman. And apparently, rumor has it that he is the front runner for the role. What are my thoughts on this? I think that there are better choices. But if we did a 0 to 10 on a gauge of where Patterson fits, I'm going to put him above 5, easily above 5 for a good fit. And here's my reason why. It actually has a little bit to do with Twilight, but more so with what he's done outside of the Twilight franchise. In my opinion, he has more than enough shown that he knows how to act. He's got a style. He's got an approach and a process that I enjoy. Do I like him as my number one favorite male actor? No, but he's up there. Not high up there, but he's up there. I won't turn it off, a movie off if he's on it. I watched a movie called Rover with him and Guy Pearce. It was an interesting film. His Patterson's performance in that movie was very good. But here's my thoughts on him playing Batman. Imagine Bruce Wayne, someone that could smile, shake hands. But just like that, someone walks out of the room and that smile just melts away, slowly. Still looking out the window, gets a message on his phone from his secretary that he's got 11 o'clock that's here and ready. Send him in. You can play him a little bit. Like, I don't like using some of these words. Like, I hope you get the right picture I'm painting when I say maybe a little sardonic, maybe a little melancholy, maybe a little haunted, but not devastated, not destroyed. Bruce Wayne should not be a destroyed identity. But I think this is what everyone's got wrong, is that Bruce died in that alley with his family. And people have been calling him Bruce ever since. But he doesn't identify with it anymore. The moment his family was gone, it was gone. It's all gone. He's got his butler, and I think that should be the relationship. Is that the butler should be trying to remind him, you're Bruce Wayne. You're Bruce Wayne. Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget your family. And you should, yeah, I know who I am. I know who I am. But when he says that, I'm Batman. So if you got a tall, lanky, that could be put through a boot camp, Robert Pattinson playing Batman, I think it's a really good fit. I think that he'll surprise everyone. But this is also coming from the guy that feels that Ben Affleck never got a chance to actually play Batman, even though he played Batman. Not the Batman that I know that he wanted to play. This is someone else's imagination of him playing Batman. Sometimes that works. Sometimes a director can look at an actor and sit down with a casting director and look at the script and be like, that actor, let's get that actor to do it. And it's almost not even that actor's choice. Someone else thought it. Now, that could be the case with Patterson, and that's why we're getting it. But, like, who could do it better? I don't know. A couple of people? A handful of people? But at the level at which he could perform this with a really, especially if it's written to his strengths. Like, everything I'm saying hinges on whether this is written to Patterson's strengths. If this is just a generalized script that didn't care who played Batman, but this is how it will be played, then it's not going to be a good fit. Because that's exactly what happened to Ben Affleck. They had an idea how Batman was going to be, and they just made Ben Affleck be that. Now, if Batman was written in the mind of Ben Affleck more, then we would have had a way more enjoyable Batman. Don't believe me? Watch Gone Girl. Watch Boiler Room. Watch Anything that watch anything that Ben Affleck has written and directed or had a hand in any of those doing, not just act. Like when he's behind the project and passionate about it, we would have gotten a way better Batman. This is why I say he's never been Batman, because he didn't get to do it. He didn't get to create the environment for him to run around in as Batman. If he wanted to write and direct and act, but somehow that didn't work out. I'm not going to speculate on how. I'm just going to say it just never happened. And now we got Patterson. So this all hinges on whether the writer-director know exactly who they have and write it with that in mind. And if that's the case, then we're going to get a really good Robert Pattinson Batman. Will it be the best Batman we ever saw? No. But it'll be up there. It will be competing with Michael Keaton. And I really don't think there's much of a debate here when it comes to who played a really good Batman. Michael Keaton is number one. You could say that I'm ageist, being nostalgic about my childhood, but let's just go over it. You got a guy that understood that there was a duality, Michael Keaton. Then who we get after that? We got high on his career, Val Kilmer, in a highly stylized film that had very little writing substance. That was Batman number 3. Okay. They tried to go for the 1950s Batman with Adam West, modernized in the 90s with all this techno rave influence with black lights and all of that. The 90s are weird. So I'm quoting that, by the way. If you know what that is, message down below. But weird, absolutely weird. So that movie, no. Val Kilmer, good Batman, not the greatest Batman, bad movie to be in to try to do Batman. That's my opinion on that. Then you got the Batman after that. You've got George Clooney. I'm going to say George Clooney never got to play Batman because that movie was a circus mess. So that Batman isn't good. Now we're going to get to the Holy Trilogy that modern Batman fans are either going to stand on or try to burn down. I'm not going to burn them down. I'm just going to say the stroke of genius with Ben Affleck having an electronic voice box for Batman was a stroke of genius. And if they can go back and recut all those Christian Bale movies and cut that WWE wrestler voice out, those movies go way higher for quality. He is the one of the weakest links to the Batman franchise because of little decisions. Like, was he good at acting as Batman either way? Like, to be honest, my biggest gripe is really that voice he did when he was playing Batman. His performance as Batman is pretty solid. I wouldn't put him above Michael Keaton. I'll put him above Val Kilmer and George Clooney only because he had a movie that was worthwhile being in. Val Kilmer and Clooney were not in a movie that was worthwhile at all. Guarantee you, if they had another crack at it, they would have jumped ship. Would have been smart to do it too. But so those Batman movies aren't great. So going back to the Holy Trilogy is that you got a really good reimagining with a style. Christopher Nolan has style, but he also has substance. I do not like the last movie in the aspect of timeline. I don't like that it takes months and months and months for that story to unravel. I think it's highly unnecessary. I think that if you were to redo that last one, you do an assault on Gotham's power structure that doesn't take a year, and you just turn it upside down and turn it to no man's land. You don't need to have a bomb. You can have it cut off, or maybe you gotta have the bomb, but it's your deterrent. not something you're actually set off. Because if you cut it off and took out all the organization and everything fell apart and you made No Man's Land, then you truly did destroy Gotham. And that's why it should end on that note. Oh, we rebuilt Gotham. What? In 30 years? Like, let's say you did that to New York. How long do you think it would take New York to bounce back? A year? You're out of your mind. The bureaucratic conversations on where to start would take a year. The amount of money spent in offices recording the minutes on the processes to come would cost millions before even one steel-toed boot hit a work site. And once you get that work site, I'm going to say a decade easy just to get started. And the most essentials things built. But any mega structures, still years out from completion. So No Man's Land would have been a great way to end that Nolan trilogy. You know, it was just a hard story to peg. And they really rammed that square peg through the round hole. And I love Bane's performance. I like the twists and the turns. But, you know, there's many ways that story could have been told. But my point being is that he's not the best Batman. He's the second best Batman. And with Robert Pattinson in the mix, it will be a dogfight, in my opinion, between Michael Keaton and Robert Pattinson once he plays the role. Again, all hinging on who directs and how they write him. There has to be chemistry in that. Like, get Robert De Niro to act like Robin Williams. Would you go watch that? Yeah, you would. But would he be a convincing Robin Williams? No, he wouldn't. So why get someone to do something you know you can't do? So that'd be my argument on whether Robert Pattinson's going to be any good at this or not. It all depends on the council of people that create this film behind the camera. What concept, idea, and mentality they want to depict in front of that camera. All of this is relevant. There are other choices. There's Armie Hammer. There's a few other people that I haven't heard of that are from television shows or movies that I haven't watched. And having a no-name it's not a bad idea. Hell, we've got big celebrities from because of casting someone that we didn't recognize. So I just wanted to share this on the late breaking news on Batman. I think it's a good step forward, especially if he wants to continue on for numerous films. That's the other thing that you got to ask these people that get hired for these big roles. Do you want to do this for a decade? Yes, a decade. Every year we're going to do something. You're going to get your own standalone movie 1 year, and the year after that you're going to be part of a big ensemble. Then the year after that you're going to go back to your standalone and zigzag. You want to do that for 10 years? No. You want to give up that many millions of dollars? No. Well, do you want to get in shape for 3 months and go do this? Oh, okay. You can get somebody that's going to say yes. Be a fool not to. So if he's let's go with this thought. What if they've asked 50 people to play Batman and 5 people said maybe, and Patterson was one of them? And the other said, no, I don't want to do it. I'm not a good fit. The tragedy is when someone that is a good fit thinks that about themselves and we don't get that performance. But the one thing I wouldn't sweat over this whole Batman thing is that DC doesn't know what they want to do. We could end up with 3 different actors playing Batman in 3 different movies that aren't even connected. Because DC comic books and the film franchise, they don't want to be in one universe, if you will. They don't want to be in one dimension. They want to be in multiple dimensions depicting multiple stories that are unconnected. Therefore, you can have multiple different actors playing character that'll be present in multiple different projects. Like you got the standalone Joker movie. Well, that's not the only Joker. There's still other people that are cast to play Joker in other projects. And they don't connect the television shows to their movies. So even if you don't like this, all I have to tell you is hold your breath. Hold it. Because they're going to hire someone else to play Batman in another movie. It could be John Hamm. It could be Armie Hammer. It could be Tom Hiddleston. It could be Liam Hemsworth. It could be all sorts of people that play Batman in the next Batman movie, whatever that Batman movie is. Hell, they even got the guy that played Jorah Mormont to play Batman in the Titans TV show where he's old man Batman. There's all these different stories you can do with Batman, and this isn't the only one. So if you don't like this one, my advice to you is just hold your breath and wait and see, because there will be another Batman project with or without Patterson. My money is that it's going to be a pass, not a fail. But these are just my thoughts on the breaking news of Hollywood. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any thoughts or comments that you'd like to share, go down in the comment section below and let us all see what you have to think. Thank you for dropping by and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.